Welcome to your Friday football fix, where we're reflecting on an exciting night of European football, and none more exciting than that edge of your seat clash between Antwerp and Rangers, which saw the lead seesaw between both sides until Rangers emerged 4-3 victors. What a game. I'm delighted now to be joined by former Rangers boss Alex McLeish. Alex, you must have enjoyed that one. Give us your assessment of that Rangers performance.
Well, it reminded me of, I was talking to some pals after it, and we said, do you remember we used to get the ball out, go up the field and play football, like a six-a-side or something like that, and it was the best of seven, that in terms of the goals, the best of seven, and it just looked like a free-for-all game, just like that. And, Stevie Gerrard probably a little bit disappointed on some of the defending, I think he said. But in saying that, a couple of set pieces, had to legislate for them, and then Rangers to go away to Belgium and put on a performance like that, and in terms of the goals they scored, the chances they created, but also, having to clear a couple off the line, and McGregor having to do well also. It was just an amazing game. It was brilliant to watch. Maybe not for Steven Gerrard.
They showed incredible fortitude, especially in the second half. Do you think this is proof of the squad's maturity, Alec?
Yeah, it is, because, Kent on the bench, Jack on the bench, and these guys come on to be part of a really famous victory. And therefore, the rotation of the team, of the squad, you can see that, Stevie's thinking about that very carefully. And Kent, who hasn't been on the score sheet for a wee while, but you see what he can bring, and the goal he scored was absolutely different class. Brilliant interaction with teammates and a great finish. He's you could see that he's desperately wanted a goal for weeks, and that could finally set him off in a wee run.
You mentioned briefly, it must have been very difficult for Stephen watching that, firsthand. What do you think he was feeling throughout that game? It must have been a relief to come through it.
Well, he would, Rangers taking the lead, but then the set piece play, he wouldn't have been happy with. They've been pretty tight on that, but at the same time, there's always going to be a breach, because they have to try and keep a straight line, and everybody has to try and drop and synchronized almost. And when one doesn't do it, then it can allow the opposition forwards or defenders, I think that was the guy who scored the goal, then it can always give a wee chance away. And it's such a really difficult technique to instruct and to coach, but for the players to keep the discipline of holding the line, and some playing others on side, that is something that takes real strict telepathy between the whole team. So sometimes you have to allow for things like that. They're only human, but it brought the opposition back into the game, as we know. Antwerp, and I felt that they were a better team than Liège, but the way Rangers have grown in Europe this year, they were outstanding. To come back and win it, the topsy-turviness of the game, and for Rangers to go away with a victory was quite a remarkable result.
We're certainly set up for an exciting second leg at Ibrox. How far can Rangers go in Europe, do you think, Alex?
Well, I wasn't sure they could combine both, the Premier League and Europe. As we've known in the last couple of years, they have, I think, gone off the boil a wee bit after the New Year breaks, consecutive seasons. And this season, although they kept a foothold in Europe last season as well, but this season, the consistency of the squad, the improvement of individuals, and the determination to win, the determination to have high performance level has increased big time. And can they go all the way? I think there's better teams than Antwerp out there, and if as is likely they will go through, then the next round is going to be the very, very testing one, like they've not been tested before. I'm sure of that.
Tavernier looks like he could be out for a while. That's going to cause a lot of headaches for Stephen, isn't it?
Yeah, when you lose key men, you see the damage it can inflict. You only have to look at Liverpool in the Premier League. Jurgen lost Virgil van Dijk and one or two others, and they've had to adjust by playing midfielders who they then miss in midfield to go into the defence. So the team is a little bit topsy-turvy, because of one key player. Now, Rangers don't have an instant James Tavernier to go straight into that, but back four, back five, and therefore he adjusted last night with Balogun, and can he be a regular in that position? I don't know. Young Patterson, he got into a little bit of COVID mischief, shall we say, and I don't know how Steve's going to play it, missing Tavernier for a few weeks now with a muscle strain. So that is going to be a little test of the strength of the squad.
I just want to wrap up, Alec, by asking you about Steven Gerrard, because you're no stranger to great achievements with Rangers. What do you make of his approach, and what do you think it will mean for him to lift the title?
Well, okay, let's fast forward and say that he wins the title, which it looks likely. Then it's been some achievement, because he's had to do it over a period of building foundations and coming up the way. I kind of inherited a team and a team who were not playing at their best, and who weren't fulfilling the skills that they had, and we got them. Sorry, a wee phone slip there.
All right.
We got them back playing again and playing to their top level. And Stevie's done it in kind of a reverse way, where a couple of years, quite barren seasons, and now he's on the verge of the building of that team has now come to fruition. And that's, that's a great achievement. It's a different type of achievement, but nonetheless, both of them would still are still massively significant for Rangers Football Club.
Do you think he'll stay?
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will. Yeah, I think he will, because, well, okay, you're asking me if Liverpool come calling, if Jurgen Klopp leaves, then I just don't see it. In my crystal ball, I see Jurgen Klopp staying, and I see Stevie Gerrard having lifted the league championship, staying as well to try and further his trophy haul of hopefully a couple by that time, maybe the Scottish Cup as well. But I think he'll stay. If he wins the league this year, he'll stay, and I see Jurgen Klopp staying at Liverpool. One day, maybe, yeah, they could come calling for him.
Well, it would certainly make the Rangers fans happy to keep him anyway.
Yeah, they certainly would. Yeah, but I'm sure Rangers would if Stevie leaves, they'll get the right man in for the next time as well.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to catching up with you again.
Okay, Kirsteen, great stuff.